I'd like to call this meeting to order. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Elick?
Here.
Ms. Karstafen? Here. Mr. Bax?
Here.
Mr. Brubaker?
Here.
And Mr. Gebhardt?
Here. Great. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the July 17, 2019 Elyria School Board meeting. I'd like to introduce our group up here. To my right is Kevin Brubaker, Board Member Kevin Brubaker. To his right is Board Member Jim Bax. I am Greg Elick. To my left is our Vice President, Board Member Annie Karstafen. To her left is our Senior Board Member Mike Gebhardt. To his left is our Superintendent Ann Slosh, and to her left is our Treasurer Joy Clickinger. Okay, moving along on the agenda. Right off the bat, we have a very special recognition today. Madam Superintendent?
Sorry, props. Props. I should probably get the microphone.
Yeah. Do you need help with that?
No, there's a delay. All right. Thank you, President Elick. We have been very fortunate at the Elyria Schools to partner with a foundation locally, the Stocker Foundation. And I know many of you know the Stocker Foundation because, let me see, for the last 8 years, they've supported us. First with 3 single-year grants, and then 5 years over at Franklin Elementary with our New Beginnings program, which the main push for that was early literacy with the 2 preschool rooms, but then we also integrated arts residencies, extended day, technology, and parent engagement. For 5 years, they were really entrenched in working with students and doing a great job with the families there at Franklin. And last year was our last year of New Beginnings, but we didn't let them sneak away, nor did they want to sneak away. I'm going to call up Patty O'Brien, the Executive Director of the Foundation, and also Brian Kokai, our Tech Director, and Natalie Matthews, who is our new Academic Services Director. For the last few months, and actually few years, we've been working on the whole STEAM projects throughout the district, and I think everyone that's been very well printed in the Chronicle, the Journal, and really been a big portion of what our new initiatives were. But this year, we decided with the Literacy Plus STEAM initiative that the Stocker Foundation is switching to, decided to work with them on a new multi-year grant, and I'm going to let Patty announce it.
So I thank you, Ann. And you know, before I announce it, I just would like to say that, you know, Ann and her team, Brian and Natalie, came to our June 22nd board meeting and did just a phenomenal job explaining what this next grant is going to sound like and feel like, and how it's going to benefit all of the kids in Elyria City Schools. So we couldn't be more excited to announce that over the next 3 years, the Stocker Foundation is committing $1.35 million to STEAM Plus Literacy here at Elyria City Schools. So the grant itself is going to maintain those 2 preschool classrooms at Franklin, which will turn into Hamilton after next school year, and then we'll also help with Project Lead the Way for STEAM programming, which will be embedded K-12.
Right.
Okay.
Wow, that's great.
So she has the real check.
Thank you.
Joy, I'd like to switch with you.
So we're really excited, and as Ann said, we do have a new focus with our grant making, and I brought some flyers for you guys to have if you're more interested to learn, but we really want to have a broader definition of literacy and really help to make sure that kids not only have foundational reading and writing skills, but are really prepared for the real world, and we know that this
Thank you very much.
Just real quick, to give you the 2-second version of this, I'm going to let Brian Kokai tell you a little bit about what the Stocker is funding. I just want to give you a little taste of that.
Oh, thank you. We got new microphones, so I'm a little nervous about feedback. So the STEAM portion of this in year one, puts a project lead the way 6th grade design modeling class that every 6th grader in Elyria schools will be required to take. We believe it's fits right in and is perfect for our 21st Century Skills Initiative, and it teaches a lot about the 21st century skills, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and we're really excited about that. Year 2 adds in an 8th grade component, which has been missing in our curriculum, which is a computer science course for every single 8th grader in Elyria City Schools. We'll be at the forefront of STEAM education in Ohio, I believe. So we're real excited to have partners that believe in us, and we're ready to hit the ground running. We're real excited.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. That is wonderful news, and thank you to the Stocker Foundation, obviously, for supporting literacy in Elyria schools. That is outstanding. Good job by your team also. Okay, moving along on our agenda, we do not have any board reports today, and the June 26, 2019 minutes have been posted. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Board Member Gebhardt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Bax. Any questions or comments? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Brubaker?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Treasurer action items. Madam Treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have a couple items this evening. First of all is the monthly financial reports for the month ending June 2019. The second item is donations, and we have a donation from Ms. Rochelle Kennedy, $4,000 to the Schmidtgen Scholarship Fund. Also, to approve the attached list of purchase orders in order to comply with the district's purchasing procedures. And those are my items this evening.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's action items?
So moved.
A motion by Board Member Brubaker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Karstafen. Any questions or comments? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Brubaker?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Okay, moving along. There are no treasurer other items today, are there?
No.
Okay. Moving along to the OFCC. We do have on the agenda today the resolution to redirect funds to enter in the OFCC, the third amendment to the project agreement as detailed below, and this is to ask them to redirect the $3.5 million of potential abatement dollars. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Board Member Gebhardt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Bax. Any questions or comments? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Brubaker?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Moving along, superintendent action items. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, President Elick. First of all, I'd like to approve the payment of the stipends as listed below for professional development. Also to approve the payment of the stipends for CPI training. To approve the contract with the Amherst Elyria Taxi for transporting students the 1920 school year. To approve the contract with PSI affiliates with Elyria Catholic for the 1920 school year. To approve the Education Alternatives contract for education of students during the 1920 school year. To approve the student summer work as detailed below for the transition grant program at the high school. Also to approve the revised administrative salary schedule as detailed in enclosure K7. To approve the successful bidder of the masonry renovation project at Elyria High School with Western Specialty Contracts, as listed below. And that concludes my items under superintendent action.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the superintendent action items?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Brubaker. Do I have a second?
Second that.
Second by Board Member Bax. Questions, comments? A quick question, could you just expand a little bit about the $95,000 on the high school, or maybe Jake could?
Sure, I'll let Jake do it.
At the high school, under some of the interior windows at the top, some of the flashing has deteriorated in that building. So we had to, basically they have to remove, it's above the cafeteria and kind of that side athletic wing wall. If you're looking from the back of the building, those windows need pulled out and the flashing needs redone. And there's some masonry work, obviously, that needs to be pulled out and redone to fix that flashing because it's leaking in the walls. So.
Questions?
Is that because it wasn't done right the first time, or?
Yes. This short answer, yes.
All right.
I mean, if you remember, and this is my history, that, you know, the contractor that was doing that faulted and there was, so it got slipped through the cracks.
Okay.
And I'm assuming there's no recourse still, or,
No.
okay,
No.
and we've looked into everything on that?
Yes.
And that does, part of what was explained to me from our architecture group is that the half mil that goes with those for
Okay.
helping with the new buildings and anything that comes up that we passed at the same time.
Right.
I'll pay for that.
Okay, well, that's good. Okay, super. Other questions or comments? Did you have one?
No.
Okay. With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Brubaker?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Madam Superintendent, your personnel action items today?
Yes, and I did want to let you know we do have a few introductions.
Okay,
after-
very good.
So first of all, to approve the resignation of the certified administrative staff below, Dr. Jack Dibby, as we know, is leaving after 15 years at Ely,
wow,
long
okay.
tenure at Ely, and going to another district at a central office position. Also to approve the resignation of the teacher below, Mr. Schneider was here for 18 years.
Oh, wow.
So I believe he's going somewhere where it's closer to where he lives.
Okay.
Next, to approve the appointment of the following administrative staff as detailed below. Brandon Easton, who will be a principal at Ely Elementary. To approve the appointment of the following staff, certified staff as listed below. We have a new science teacher, a new second grade teacher, and a new school psychologist. Also to approve the supplemental contracts as listed below for certified staff. To approve the stipend for certified staff as listed below. And to approve the payment of up to 10 days for the employees on a per diem. This is so that the home counselors, when they do have to make court dates during summer hours, they are there for us to work with students. To approve the appointment of the following classified staff as detailed below. To approve the one-year limited contract of the following classified staff as detailed below. To approve the unpaid leave of absence for the following classified staff. To approve the athletic supplemental contracts of the following certified staff, classified staff, and non-employed staff as detailed below. And that concludes my items under personnel action items.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's personnel action items?
So moved.
A motion by Board Member Gebhardt. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Board Member Bax. Questions or comments? A quick question. There was talk of faculty managers at the middle schools. Where are we in that process?
I have a call into Mrs. Beck, and she is out of the
Okay.
country.
Oh, okay.
So she's due back any day.
Okay.
So I will get you that answer as soon as she is back. I know that they have been posted, Mrs. Barnier? Okay, at this point.
And the intention is with the coming school year, these faculty managers will be in place instead of assistant athletic director.
Correct. That is
Okay.
correct.
Good.
All these people are certified with their,
They've all been vetted and have the proper certification.
okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question, just for this principal's position. Was this a hire within, because it's not a familiar name to me? I'm just curious.
No, it was not. And why don't I introduce him while I say, or
Okay,
should
I'm
we
just-
wait to
We're gonna
introduce?
need to
Okay, we
wait
better
a
wait.
minute, 1 minute.
I'm going to introduce him and give you a little background.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Brubaker?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye. Motion carries. Now, Madam Superintendent, would you like
Didn't mean
to
to
do an introduction here?
Jump the introduction, but we have Brandon Easton. He is coming to us with 6 years of experience in the administrative level, which with us moving to a new building, we thought experience was very important. And he was in Lorraine City Schools, previously before that in Florida. He was at Helen Steiner Rice, Brandon? Yes. Which, if I can say, and you'll notice in the press release, he's had a wonderful few years at Helen Steiner Rice of increasing performance and really looking at working with teachers and students instructionally. So we're very excited to have Brandon at Ely Elementary, and the committee, which was comprised of administrators and teachers from the building, chose Brandon. So Brandon Easton, and he can introduce his family if you'd like to.
Yeah, Brandon, please introduce your family.
Well, we want to get you on TV.
Oh, yeah.
We do things right.
Okay. Okay. And I was going to say, the Helen Steiner Rice, my teachers and staff were trying to come here and object to everything. So this is my wife, Tiffany. This is my oldest son, Caden, who is 9. He's not going to say anything, I don't think. We have Avery. You want to say your name? Say your name as well? How old are you? Is he from Elyria? He's 6. And then we have my little one, Mackenzie, who is 2. Do you want to say hi?
His name sounded familiar.
Okay, they're all shy right now, so yeah.
Super.
A few minutes ago, they were tearing up.
Brandon, welcome
Thank
to
you.
the Pioneer family.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just press it. And I think Jamie's going to introduce the rest of the staff.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
They have quite a few.
great.
I think he turned it off. It'll come on.
Okay, so we have Andre Del Valle. He is going to be an integrated science teacher over at the high school, so we're very excited to bring you on board. We have Chloe Harrigan. She is going to be a second grade teacher at Ely.
All right.
And Mary Ellen Kauchak. She is going to be our new school psychologist. And our final new member that's here is Tommy Harris. He's going to be an instructional para over at Westwood.
Great. Welcome to the Pioneer family. Super. Thank you, Jamie. It seems like HR has been very busy lately here, so that's outstanding. Okay, moving along. Madam Superintendent, do you have a superintendent report for us today?
Not much. Just a couple thank yous. First of all, I'd like to put a thank you out to, and you'll notice the district is a big district, and we have wonderful maintenance staff and custodial staff that's working hard in the summer to get it ready for everyone next year. So I do want to send a big shout out to them because they are working very hard to get it ready in this severe heat. Also, just thank you again to the partnership with the Stocker Foundation. I really do think this is going to put us on the map even more. And one of the things the family asked us was, can you get any designations or anything? And Patty will tell you, we joked around about being the first STEAM district, not STEM school, but STEAM district in the state, or even nationally. So just thank you again to them and for always being so supportive of Elyria's students.
Great.
So that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Moving along on the agenda, Board of Education. One quick item here is we approved the resolution to potentially use abatement dollars earlier, and that is going to leave us with vacant buildings. There has been discussion about potential open houses, so I will ask Ms. Higgins to contact Mr. Rigda, and maybe we can start actually getting some dates out there and seeing who is interested in our facilities that we will not be using. And we'd like to do that probably, obviously, before the kids come back. So, other items for the good of the cause?
Yeah, real briefly, just on progress on construction.
Okay.
I talked to the project manager today, and he reports that Ely and Northwood are on schedule, actually a little bit ahead of schedule. The brick veneer is actually starting to go on the building at Ely and should start on Northwood like next week. And Hamilton is, he estimates, about 2 weeks behind, basically due to weather. And there was something to do with one of the connections, storm sewer connections, or something that there was some lead time issues there, but they'll make that up. But there, you should see, I think they are actually going vertical now on the walls on the gymnasium at Franklin. So if anyone watched the progress at Ely and you saw how quickly that building came out of the ground, I think you're going to kind of see the same thing.
Before we talk about that, has Brandon signed his contract yet? He signed.
We actually went over to the Ely so I could show him his new school.
He's signed and ready to go? Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
So, but with that, at this point, no other
What
major
about
problems.
Hamilton? Any updates there?
Yes, they are a couple weeks behind schedule, but primarily, like I said, due to weather and a couple connection issues. But that has been resolved, and there are walls starting to emerge from that foundation.
Okay.
So there were, yeah, I think you'll recall, I don't know if you recall that there were a number of soil issues, soil compaction issues in that area. There was a building there prior to that, and when we started doing the excavation for the foundations, there had been backfilled with the backfill was, I think as I recall, rather sandy and did not pass the compaction, the load carrying capability tests that we
was at
wanted for the building. So yeah, there were a few complications, but Mr. Murphy assures us he will be on schedule.
Good.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Any other items then? Did you have anything?
I will be prepared for
Okay.
at the next board meeting.
Okay, so we'll have a report at the next board meeting. Okay, moving along. There's no executive session tonight, so then it looks like I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So,
I have
second.
a motion by Board Member Brubaker and a second by Board Member Karstoffen. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Brubaker?
Aye.
Ms. Karstoffen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye. Motion carries, meeting adjourned.
Thank you for coming.